Welcome back. Yay! So Robert Rund is one of those people you just genuinely feel like you've known forever once you meet him. And I wanted people to get to know him and behind the title. So we found the perfect way to do that. And I found the perfect host, I guess I could say, for that task to make this happen. So please welcome Christian Hunter and Robert Rund for Between the Barber Poles.
How are you, sir?
Welcome to my stage. Welcome to my
thank
stage.
you.
How are you today? Put your hands together, New Jersey. You're awfully quiet. What's going on out there? So thank you for that wonderful introduction. She's beautiful. Is she not amazing? Our host for tonight, Tracy Hunter. Put your hands together for Tracy Hunter. So I have the great fortune, I've served before on the Barbershop Harmony Society Board of Directors, working with a wonderful CEO. I'm now finding myself back in the position going into the society board with another great CEO. So it's wonderful for us to have so many wonderful people. It's a wonderful night. It's a wonderful world here in New Jersey. So please say a round of applause for my first guest on Between Two Barber Poles, Mr. Robert Rund. So here's what we're going to do. Are you all ready? I hope you're ready. We're going to have a very serious dialogue and discussion for about half an hour. After that, we're going to then dip into some of the finest hot wings on the planet. This day today is brought to you by Hank Sauce. Please put together your hands for Hank Sauce out of Sea Isle City, New Jersey. That's what I thought. That's what. So for those watching at home, my whole family is here. So you'll just get used to that after a while. So I'm going to ask, Robert, some questions. I've done a little bit of research on your career.
Really?
50 years. 50 years in the Barbershop Harmony Society. How about a round of applause for that? I'm just trying to get their hands nice and chafed because they're going to be clapping a lot. So we're just going to get them ready. So I want to start with your origin story. Not like back to your parents' courtship. Let's not go that far back. But St. Louis, Missouri, the birthplace of barbershop, right? No? No. Just go with it. The birthplace of barbershop. Thank you. So you're like 9 years old.
No.
Ish. Well, just go with it.
Okay.
No, actually, you're a little older than 9 now?
No.
Still you're, okay.
No, I was 7.
You're 7 years old. So when you were in year 3, when your membership card had year 3, when you were 9 years old, you're singing with St. Louis chapter number 1, is that correct?
Correct.
Awesome. Who was the director at that time?
Well, that's interesting. There were 2 directors. One of them was an old dyed-in-the-wool barbershopper named Al Boyd. They called him the Silver Fox because he had a nice wisp of hair. And the other was a young up-and-coming barbershopper who had just joined the society. His name was David Wright.
Oh, somewhat familiar.
Yeah.
Somewhat familiar.
So there he was.
He might be going somewhere. I understand there were also some other names that some of us may know in the barbershop world. There was a kid a couple years older than you, Jimmy Henry. I'm not sure which one's the first. It might be Henry, Jimmy,
Henry. Yeah, I think
Jimmy, Henry, Jim Henry, something like that. He was singing with this Daniel Boone chorus.
Right.
Great name. I'm not sure if it's politically correct, but it's a great name. Directed by that up-and-coming director and arranger, Sir Wright.
David
I
Wright.
think is what you said. Yeah, David Wright. Then some really old guy, he was like 16, Kevin Keller.
Right.
Was one of those other young whippersnappers running around, singing a barbershop in St. Louis too. So did you look at Kevin, that high schooler, and go, yeah, I'd love to work for him someday. That would just be, someday you'll own me. I mean, just would be great.
Yeah.
What was it like being a kid with Kevin Keller, with Henry?
So we actually, Kevin Keller and I and 2 brothers sang on a TV show in St. Louis called Incredible Kids, and they thought it was cute that there was a barbershop quartet made of kids. And so it was Kevin and myself and 2 brothers. That was the main interaction with Kevin at the time, but certainly growing up with Jim. Jim's dad directed St. Louis number 1 for a while, also directed Daniel Boone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of history there.
So talking about the Incredible Kids, I think we have a clip. Do we not have? No, we don't actually. They don't have footage. They weren't recording TV shows back then. So we don't actually have footage, but I do understand that of the four in the quartet,
Right.
you were pretty much the only one to talk the entire 15 minutes. So I just want to.
That's true.
I just wonder, do you feel bad that you robbed Kevin Keller of his big break on TV that ended up with you to stardom being here with me?
No.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. All right. Well, I might have to call Kevin and see what he's doing next fall because he might like some hot wings. Who knows? So someone actually was quoted saying Robert Rund was the original barbershop brat. And boy, did he put the brat in barbershop brat. Growing up with your dad, Bill, being a fervent barbershopper, now you being a little bit older, do you have an appreciation for the impact that he made on the St. Louis community?
Yeah, so it's funny, my mother's two brothers and her uncle were the ones to start into the barbershop thing. And my Uncle Bob, who was, I still call him the greatest baritone on the planet, but he convinced my father that if my father would join the society, he would quit, my Uncle Bob would quit smoking.
Wow.
And so my father joined the society and my uncle never quit smoking.
So I'm a membership-minded guy. I could just see that in the Harmonizer as the new membership campaign, that this is better than any cessation smoking program that's out there. This is pretty. I'm pretty impressed. So any other impacts that he had? In all seriousness, St. Louis became, I think, kind of the birthplace for contemporary, the more modern barbershop that we have there, and you were part of that. What was it like growing up and seeing that?
So at the time, I think this was, in the late 70s, early 80s, there were 8 chapters in St. Louis alone. In fact, we had a St. Louis area contest just for those 8 chapters. Pretty vibrant barbershop scene. My father was a absolute loyalist in the St. Louis #1 chapter. And this is a story I'm surprised I'm telling publicly, but my father was also a federal magistrate. So at the dinner table was basically sort of like being on in trial and being deposed. And so I got pretty good at it. But David Wright actually called me once. He was at Daniel Boone, and he said, I could really use an assistant director. And I was in my teens. I think I was 14 or 15. I was super honored. David Wright asking me, and I said, well, David, I can't get out to St. Charles. I don't have a car. I don't drive. He's like, well, I'll pick you up. So I thought this was fantastic news, and came to the dinner table, and Dad said, so what'd you do today, son? And I said, well, you're not going to believe it. I got a call from David Wright, and he said that he'd like me to be an assistant director out with Daniel Boone, and he'll even drive me out there each week. And he said, well, that's great, and you can find a new place to live. And he was dead serious, and to this day, David will not let me complain about my father, because my father loved the St. Louis #1 chapter. It was an everyman chapter. We had 60 guys on the risers. They're still singing today. Second oldest chapter in the society. And those guys, I will tell you this, joining at 7, I had 60 dads growing up, and I will never really be able to repay what an average barbershop chapter can do for a young person. So, yeah, gratitude to St. Louis #1. Yeah.
So I would say there's no number of gold medals that could replace that kind of an experience, even though
exactly.
Daniel Boone went on to become the St. Charles chapter that won, 38, 50, 120. How many golds do they have? A lot of golds. I'm going to fast forward now to college. We're going to your college days in the great state of New Jersey at Westminster Choir College. There we go. Joyzy in the house. So I talked to some of your alumni, some of your fellow students, because I actually live not far from Westminster. Many of us know one of those, a dear friend of yours, Bill Stauffer. Bill could not be here today because he didn't want to hear what I'm going to be saying right now and be held accountable for it.
I see.
So is it true that you and Mr. Stauffer were put on double secret probation at Westminster Choir College for singing screamer tags on the nearby campus of Princeton University in violation of ethics rule number 6? Truth?
I cannot confirm or deny that.
'Cause they have arches. They have lots
Right.
of arches.
No, with good
and-
acoustics. Yeah.
So I understand from some of my Princeton friends, they didn't look too kindly on
No, they did
barbershop
not.
on campus.
Nor Westminster.
Yeah, they actually let dogs go loose, and they could hear it down that way. Well, thank goodness. But what was it like being a barbershopper at one of the world's elite choir colleges at Westminster Choir
Yeah.
College?
So this, again, I'm telling tales out of school, but since this is a get to know you, I'll go ahead and reveal, and probably more about Bill than about myself.
Good.
But, so, yeah, went to Westminster Choir College, really didn't know much about the classical music field, but I came in with a major backbone in barbershop, and got placed into my music theory class, and they put me in fundamentals of theory, which was deemed Bobo theory at the time. And I remember the teacher walked in and he said, "This is a piano." Yet I knew all those chords, right? That was the crazy thing, is that barbershop taught me all those chords. I just didn't know the name for them. I didn't know all the lingo, but I absolutely knew music theory, and I knew it from doing it in the barbershop hobby. But I was the only barbershopper there in this classical school, and or I thought so at the time. And Bill Stauffer, who is the lead of my district champ quartet, he also directed Voices of Gotham and a number of other chapters. Really awesome singer. He and I were vying for the same girlfriend, frankly. And he never told, he knew that I liked barbershop, but he didn't tell anybody that he liked barbershop. So the new Bluegrass Student Union album came out, Jukebox Saturday Night, and I got really excited to take this album and play it for this potential girlfriend. Uh-oh.
Everybody put your hands together for Mike Kelly, our technical
mic not
director.
working?
On between two barber
Got it
poles.
pointing at your armpit. We're going to change that around. To point at
Oh, thank you, Mike.
Mike,
You're so nice.
which sparkle should I be putting this above 3 or 12 or 523? So Jukebox Saturday Night.
Jukebox Saturday Night, I thought I was definitely going to win this girl over. So I bring the album over to her room.
Wait. You're trying to pick up a girl with the latest, greatest barbershop album.
Yes,
I just
absolutely.
For those 16 to 18-year-olds at home, I don't recommend you try this at home. Continue.
So I go over to her room, and I'm getting ready to share this album, and I said, "I got to show this to you. This is the greatest music ever. You're just going to be blown away." And she said, "Oh, Bill Stauffer already showed me." That was the end of that.
For Robert, who got the girl?
Not me. Not me.
There we go. So,
Yeah,
yep.
and that was the first time I found out that there was another barbershopper at Westminster, and we went on to have a lot of fun.
Well, let's talk about that.
Uh-oh.
So Bill had shared with me that there was a time where you guys were going to friend's birthday party, and you were writing songs.
Yes.
Does that ring a bell?
It does.
Can you share the story of the songs you wrote for that birthday party?
That's a good question. I have a bad memory, but we each wrote a song for our then girlfriends, not the one from the previous story. We had a lot of girlfriends at Westminster. But yes, I think we each wrote a song. Rebecca, we'd waltz off to Mecca to write "Happy Birthday" to you on the wall. I think that was Bill's, maybe.
Yeah, your memory's just terrible. Terrible. I'm just
I
really-
can't remember the other one.
That's pretty good. So also just going back to your classes
Right.
at Westminster. Sight reading. Apparently you had an experience in sight reading where you were asked to sing a line solo.
Bill's in trouble. Yeah.
And you decided to sing the line a little bit low. What was that experience like with the wonderful faculty of Westminster Choir College and their tolerance of you selecting the comfortable octave to
Right,
sing?
yeah. Well, it was a teacher named Harriet Chase, and she couldn't be seen over the piano. She would stand in an upright, but she was very short, and you couldn't see her, you could just hear her. And she was trying to get me to sing, sight read a line up an octave, and I didn't like that. So she kept trying to convince me, and finally I said, "It sounds like shit, it sounds like crap." It didn't sound good. And because I was too afraid to offend Dr. Chase. Yeah,
And
she was an elderly lady who was very
somehow,
sweet.
He still graduated magna cum laude from Westminster Choir College, with a few demerits probably on the record.
Yeah.
It's quite the accomplishment. So I'm guessing that it's only because barbershoppers are perfectionists. We are pretty amazing. Have any of your habits from Westminster from those days flowed through your career in music and leadership? The good habits, good habits.
Yeah.
Have any of those habits kind of flowed through with how you work today?
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually a serious, we've been joking around a lot, but that is something that Westminster, the pursuit of excellence, and that's why sometimes with barbershop, when I favor, say, having a chapter or a chorus pursue excellence in their music making, to me, it's when you pursue excellence to that degree and your attention to detail is that specific, it changes your standard of how you approach absolutely everything in your life. And that, I will say, from having just a few experiences I'll share at Westminster, singing on stage with Leonard Bernstein conducting, or Zubin Mehta in the New York Philharmonic, or something in Carnegie Hall, where every single drop of the baton means, you are right there. And the degree to which you're focused on that being perfect, even though we can never achieve perfection, I think that pursuit of perfection, it suddenly changes just about everything you approach in life. And that happens, I think, when we experience that in chapters and choruses too. That's why I always advocate, even if you're a small chapter, go ahead and compete. Spend a little time and pursue higher levels of music making.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. So I want you to put your personal bias aside. If there was a music college death match between Westminster, Juilliard, two I's, Juilliard and Berkeley, who would win? Who would win?
A death match.
Yes.
I mean, Berkeley's great with jazz, right? So I'll give them that. Westminster is the best choral school on the planet. I'll give them that. Juilliard, I think if you're talking about an overall, general classical music school, it's probably.
Detecting with your tone of voice, you're definitely partial to Jersey.
Exactly.
Jersey in the house. So speaking of Jersey in the house, very important question that came in. Pork roll or Taylor ham? Which is right?
Taylor ham.
Oh, yeah, that's so. It's been, everybody say thank you to our guests, Robert Rund. Pork roll was the right answer, so now I have to go to another page of really hard questions for you. Let's talk about your quartet One Step Closer. Does that sound right?
That sounds right.
First quartet at Westminster?
Yeah.
So is it true that the quartet was formed at Westminster by you and Bill Stauffer to stick it to those classical music nerds, that barbershop is really the apex of vocal singing?
I don't remember using those exact words, but we did sing pretty well.
Yeah, he had it actually written in his yearbook. Bill, our quartet was great. It's the apex of vocal singing. Something to that effect. No, that wasn't you. Might have been one of your other quartet.
I hope you
mates.
guys are picking up the sarcasm here.
None at all.
Okay.
None at all. I speak ESL. That's English as a sarcastic language. How many girlfriends named Rebecca did you actually have? That's far too many.
One.
If you had to wait that long.
One, yeah.
That's far too many. All right. Another quartet double take. Round of applause for our Mid-Atlantic District champions from, I believe, 1992.
Yeah, 93, yeah.
Double take. You won the district in your first try, correct?
Yeah.
Incredible. I actually spoke to Bill Colosimo. He said it was just such a down year. That's the only way
It was,
that
yeah,
you
pretty much.
You pulled
yeah.
it off. Was there a rivalry going on at that time?
No.
So Bill won that one. Okay. Also, I reached out to one of your quartet mates, Barry Moore.
Really?
The great
Okay,
Barry Moore. Yeah, he wouldn't actually answer the phone, but he did text me. He didn't want to talk to me, but he said some very interesting insights. Is there anything you want to share with the audience before I share what he shared?
No.
Okay, fair. Pleading the fifth. Good point. Not the core, the actual constitutional amendment. Is it true that you secretly sabotaged Barry's quartet 12th Street Rag to prevent them from making the BHS top 10?
Yes.
Ever?
Yes.
Ever. But then you felt bad, and you finally let them win the seniors quartet?
Yeah.
Very good. I mean, what a kind heart, Robert Rund, that we have here. If you were forced to banish one popular barbershop tag from the planet, what would it be?
That's a great question. Friendship and love to the
Friendship
end.
and love. So now we're going to ask Robert Run to teach our audience the friendship and love tag. Can we get a probably B flat? That's like
I don't know.
Okay, we'll save that one for the afterglow. We'll save it for a little bit later. Controversial
Can't believe I said
topic. What is the best district in the Barbershop Harmony Society, and why is it the Mid-Atlantic District?
Because you're here.
That's it. Thank you so much. He meant you, because you're here, everyone. Round of applause for yourselves. You're doing so good, so good. All right, so here's another one. As the new barbershopper-in-chief for a short while now, have you become accustomed to having Secret Service agents with you at all times?
Not yet, no.
No? You don't have any?
Eddie Holt is very good, but
Our last guy had like a whole team.
oh no, I just have one.
Okay. How do you handle the large barrage of paparazzi when you're?
Yeah, I wear sunglasses and a wig.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I want to see that wig. That would be pretty fun to see. All right, we have a music question. Oh, Sir David Wright actually submitted a question, came in from Missouri, fellow Missourian, I believe. If an augmented 7-chord was a color, what color would it be?
Purple.
Purple. Why would it be purple?
Because it's between blue and red.
Oh, very
Yeah,
nice.
nice.
Would you be able to get us singing an augmented 7-chord?
Yes.
You want to give
Not
it a
tonight, but
not tonight. All right.
next year,
So
yeah.
again, that afterglow is going to be rocking. We're going to be singing "Friendship and Love" and the augmented 7-chord to kind of close it off.
Help me out
But
here,
everybody
Joe.
needs to wear purple when we do this. All right. If you had more serious question, if you had all the money in the world, how would you invest it to make barbershop even greater?
That's a great question. All the money in the world.
So I have an idea.
Yes.
I think we should woodshed to dogs or goats and get it up on TikTok. It's working for Tim Warwick.
Okay.
I mean, not with the animals, just the whole TikTok thing. So if you get the goat videos, those are great.
Have you seen my?
Have you done that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hemisphere Quartet.
Hemisphere Quartet. Everybody, GTS, Google that stuff. Hemisphere
It's a
Quartet.
goat remix. Seriously.
That's fantastic.
I hate to tell you, but that's actually true.
That's fantastic. So question for you. Who do you think is the second least popular barbershop arranger in the Barbershop Harmony Society?
Second least?
Because you know who the first one is.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay, so just the second least popular.
Anthony Bartholomew.
Anthony is
Yeah.
certainly,
Yeah.
Anthony, if you're watching at home, keep working on that comedy, because Robert Rund is gunning for you to go from the number 1 to 3, 2 or 3. He's moving up in the ranks there. Back to controversy on the Barbershop Harmony stage. I see that you're wearing gray shoes. Very impressive. Do you think matching brown or tan shoes for a quartet, or even more concerning for an entire chorus, is that en vogue or en their way out?
En vogue.
En vogue, so
Still,
brown,
yeah.
still a thing, still
a thing,
in.
yep.
You lived in the Carolinas for quite a while.
I did.
So we talked about pork roll and Taylor ham, very controversial.
Yes.
Carolina is not fraught. There are controversies there along the meat front. So talking about Carolina's barbecue. Having lived all over the region, what is the best? Are we talking tomato or vinegar, red or white?
Tomato.
Tomato is
Yep.
in. Is there a certain spot you want to plug?
Yep. 12 Bones in Asheville, North Carolina.
12 Bones in Asheville, North
Yeah,
Carolina.
best ribs that you'll ever eat, ever. Dry rub. Go with the brown sugar dry rub.
Brown sugar dry rub. Everybody hear that? We're going to Asheville after the show here. What do you miss most about living in the Carolinas? You just recently moved this week to Nashville, Tennessee. What do you miss the most already about the Carolinas?
I don't, actually. I loved the Carolinas, but I love Nashville. And I'm super excited about the new gig and working with the society that I've been a part of my entire life. So Nashville's my new home. I'm owning it. I'll be at the Predators games, even though I'm a Blues fan. But yeah, no, I mean, we live very close to Harmony Hall and just a few blocks, and there's a lot going on there. I love the mountains in western North Carolina, for sure.
It is quite impressive.
Yeah.
So Asheville, North Carolina, I've been there many times. Love it. I understand you lived in a place called the Arcade. Is that correct?
Grove Arcade.
Did you move into the Arcade because you wanted to be finally the best baritone in Arcade?
Just because I was an Arcade fan, and any association with the word, that was for me.
And you're also changing your name to Rick Taylor.
No, Bob Disney.
Just Bob Disney.
Yeah.
That's nice shout out to barbershop legend who has recently passed, Disney. And I also understand that it's haunted as well.
It
Grove
is.
Arcade is.
I never experienced that, but I was told. Yeah, it was a 1927 building that was never finished because of the Depression, but it's beautiful, gorgeous,
So I was just
gorgeous
wondering
building.
if you're
What, supposedly
gonna try
the
to
first
recruit
mall.
them, get them to sing the Friendship and Love tag.
Yeah, no,
Would be fun.
no, I
That
don't
would be
like
a good
that tag.
time. All right, well, I'm going to do one more to kind of close things out. We recently just had the 2025 International Convention in Denver. That must have been an absolute rush for you. Celebrate it for your 50th year anniversary. You see the pin? Pretty impressive. Everybody could only hope to get one of those. It's pretty cool. Seeing Land of the Sky reach international for the first time in their 75 years. Celebrating your birthday with thousands of friends. But I think most fun for me was possibly being mistaken for Emmy Award winner Michael Chiklis as the Thing from 2005's Fantastic Four at the Fan Fest next door. Which was your favorite of those moments from that event?
The birthday.
The birthday. Very
So,
nice.
July 2nd, and so every year, my entire life, my family spent July 4th weekend, went to International every year from the year I was born. So every year I had my birthday at International in a different city. So it's always been super fun, yeah.
So you all didn't come here just to hear us jibber jabber about fun barbershop things, but thank you for being a great audience. We're going to take just a moment to refresh our set.
Do they have any questions?
Do they have questions?
Yeah.
No, these people are barbershoppers. They don't ever have things to say or talk about, like ever. Does anybody have a burning question that they would like to bring up from the audience? See, I told you.
See,
asked
I
all
care
the
about your
questions.
voice. I don't want to
had
hear this
all
guy.
the questions. There's a gentleman here down front who you may not have met. His name's Joe Cerruti. He's a pretty amazing. I don't know if he has anything.
Is he snooty?
He was Snooty Cerruti. I heard that
Okay,
last
yeah.
night, and Rafi with the coffee.
Okay, got it.
As well. Well, I may have some more questions
Okay.
I might address. They're
Okay.
all just like, they're so raptured with our conversation.
yes.
But I think they really want to see us destroy our insides with some hot wings. What do you say, all? Are you ready for spicy ones with Robert Runs? Here we go.
Uh-oh.
How about a round of applause for our amazing crew?
Can I get you anything right now?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, we've got apple cider, we've got more water.
the balloon in the barber pole, I touched it. I see.
So tonight's show is brought to you by Hank Sauce from Sea Isle City, New Jersey. We have a range of lovely sauces. Mike Kelly, I sent you an email with some lovely product information. Do you happen to have that available? I will give you more than a second. So we have a lovely assortment of sauces with escalating heat on the scale. I will say I have personally tried every single one of these. They are absolutely delicious. If you are shopping at one of your local stores, you will now notice Hank Sauce in the sauce section. We have our herb-infused hot sauce. We have cilantro, putting a little twist on their name there. Camouflage, The Linger, Witch's Brew, Golden Hour, Hank's Heat, Exit 17. What exit? 17. Honey habanero, and to finish it off with our final coda, can't say the last dab, but the coda is going to be with Iceman. So round of applause for our sponsor, Hank's Heat. Hank Sauce. So just so those of you who are probably worried about me making this the last day of our new CEO.
Worried about you.
Worried about, okay, throw down, let's do this. We have a lovely assortment. We have our amazing assistant here. Put your hands together for Julia. Julia, you want to say hello to the studio audience? So we have some rescue foods back here. We have, of course, the Philly soft pretzel. We have some Wonder Bread and some Philly rolls from Lishio's as well. We do have, Mr. Rund, we have ranch and blue cheese, if you're so inclined. We have some wonderful apple cider. We have milk, chocolate milk, and water to try to help us get through the rest of our time here together. So a round of applause for our lovely assistant. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.
Mr. Kelly, do you happen to have those descriptions available?
Yes, I do. Which one would you like to go with first?
So we are going to start off with the Herb Infused.
Herb Infused, a 4 out of 10 ranking. Ah, yes, the OG. The original Hank sauce was created to enhance the flavor of Hank's favorite foods. This sauce goes great with nearly anything and adds the perfect kick without overpowering the dish. Hank sauce is the perfect solution for bland soups and tomato sauces, as well as boring old chicken or tuna salad. Forget the ketchup. OG makes the perfect sauce for burgers, tenders, and fries. It may not burn a hole in your tongue, but don't be surprised if you burn it through the bottle.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. So, Mr. Rund, cheers to the first wing. That's a good wing.
Very good.
Not a very, very good wing. I will be talking with my mouth full. It's good. Your professional resume is quite diverse as a leader in the nonprofit world. Can you share a summary of some of those roles and how you see your experiences, good and maybe not so good, shaping your approach as the Barbershop Harmony Society CEO?
You expect me to answer that question while I'm eating wings?
Oh my Lord, number one, and you're already going down. Yes. We're gonna chit chat while we nibble.
No, I've been very fortunate to lead several organizations in the nonprofit side, also on the for-profit side in the music field. I think the ones probably to highlight are American Boy Choir School, and most recently an organization called Cello Bello, which was an online resource to learn the cello, basically from the masters. Everybody from Yo-Yo Ma to everybody underneath Yo-Yo Ma. I mean, who can say more than Yo-Yo Ma? So yeah, I mean, I've spent my entire career kind of focused on how to build and market arts organizations and schools, education organizations.
Yeah, so we had a great discussion the other day. I think it was yesterday, and seeing these kids in school having these incredible music experiences and not having somewhere to go. Do you see Barbershop as creating kind of that lifelong, kind of like you have, experience? Yeah. Do you have any ideas of how can we take going from the youth all the way through someone getting a 50-year pin? Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny having worked for Harmony Foundation back 2016 to 18 and getting out to visit 100 plus chapters, really getting to speak to guys at the time. Now it's everyone in Harmony, but at the time it was an all-male society. So having talked to those guys, you felt a lot of confidence about our ability with youth, and you had a lot of confidence about our ability with seniors. And then there was a whole group of middle-aged guys in between that sort of felt like the society didn't really focus too much on their needs. And so my hope really is, and the organizations I've led have really been focused on lifelong learning opportunities. So really trying to meet singers of all genders at every stage of their life. And they're different, right? Our value proposition to singers changes over time. So that's something that we're going to be getting really specific about here in the next 6 months to a year, is really better understanding the members that already exist and who've been dedicated to the society, and then also those who we could attract. I mean, when you look at the fact that we have 221,000 YouTube subscribers, and yet we have 15,000 members, there's a whole lot of people that we don't even know who they are or why they're engaging with our music, and yet they are. They took the time and effort to actually subscribe, not just watch one video. So we're going to be doing a lot over the next 6 months to a year to really understand who those people are, get to know who they are, and find ways to engage them more deeply. Yeah.
I'm going to toast that with a wing. Mr. Kelly, can you tell us about cilantro as Mr. Rund and I go into the second wing? Actually, are you going from the right?
Cilantro, 4 out of 10 rate. This unique sauce is sure to be unlike anything you've had before. The hefty dose of fresh cilantro creates a flavorful blend that mixes perfectly into Southwest and Mexican-style foods.
Hang it in there.
Add it to your favorite tacos, burritos, salsa, guacamole, or mix it with sour cream for a dipping sauce like no other. A natural bite of garlic and cilantro is perfect for grilled veggies or seafood kebabs, especially when mixed with cocktail or tartar sauce. Don't forget the greens. Sprinkle cilantro over your favorite salads or mix it with honey mustard dressing for something smooth and spicy.
Cilantro. Very, very good wing. I got a text from Kevin Keller, and what he shared with me, he says, when Robert contacts me, it's always about music arranging and judging. Always. So he texts me in late February this year and says, you have a few minutes to talk. Sure. I'm going to try to do my best Kevin Keller, but it's going to be terrible. I'm thinking it's about some arrangement he's working on and whether it will fly with the judges or not. I'm thinking about applying for the CEO position, you said. Kevin couldn't believe it. We're blessed that you followed through. Now, every text and call is about Harmony Hall. So I think we're kind of hoping you can still enjoy peppering Kevin with the music texts and not just the day-to-day of leading the free barbershop world. What inspired you to put your name in the hat, to reach out to him with that text?
Well, it's interesting. It was an interesting point in my life in terms of transition and life changes. And at the same time, Bill Stauffer, who we talked about before, nominated me. And so I got an email inviting me to apply. And that was when I called Kevin and said, this is either the perfect time or the worst time. I'm not sure. Let's have a conversation. Then I quickly called Bill because I had no idea who would nominate me. He was the only one I could think of. So I said, hey, Bill, did you nominate me for this role? And he said, yes. Oh, and he said, would you be mad at me if I did? And I said, only if I get the job. So that was how we left that, and sure enough. But Bill was in Denver when this all went down, and it was one of the greatest moments in my barbershop life to spend that minute and look at my best friend through life and thank him for seeing something in me that I didn't even see in myself, to be honest. And that's another great thing about barbershop, in my experience, is that when we watch others perform or we watch others provide service in a chapter meeting or at a convention, oftentimes we really do see in other people the goodness that they don't see in themselves. And I look at somebody like Joe Cerruti and what he's done with Alexandria Harmonizers, and what we can do collectively that's so far greater than what any of us can do individually.
Cheers to that. Round of applause. Yeah. Thank you to Bill Stauffer and for Mr. Keller for bringing out the outreach. We are now ready for camouflage, Mr. Kelly. So we're going number 3, camouflage.
Camouflage gets a 4 out of 10 rating.
Just fine.
Sweet, tangy, and zesty. Camouflage is accompanied by a hidden heat. The combination of fresh herbs and spices makes this the perfect sauce for grilling. Try this fresh and flavorful blend on burgers, wings, steaks, or anything else, and watch it blend right in.
Again, another really, I'm not shilling for Hanks. These are some exceptionally
You are
good.
shilling for Hanks. There's no question about it.
I'm not going to lie. All right, we're good? I'm good? You're good?
Yeah.
You have an impressive history with BHS chapters. Director, Cherry Hill Pine Barrens, Montclair Dapper Dans, yeah? Back in their heyday, you were a little bit younger back then. Founding Palmetto Vocal Project, very cool, with one of our dear friends, Phil Wilcox.
Yeah.
Great, great guy. In Charleston, South Carolina. Shout out for Phil. And recently, your time with Asheville and coaching them in their ascension to the international stage, which is great. How have these experiences throughout that history influenced your approach to now leading the Barbershop Harmony Society?
Yeah. I mean, I think all of it really stems right back to St. Louis. But at the end of the day, I mean, my happy place is with a barbershop chapter of average to a little above average singers, and seeing what is possible, like creating a vision for what is possible within a chapter, how it can develop, and sort of looking at that moment where there's, for example, in Asheville, I'd been living in Asheville for about a decade and watching that chapter struggle, and I was too busy with work at the time and traveling that I couldn't help there. And it was really about the time that I moved to Chapel Hill that I watched their performance at a convention and said, these guys are ready to make a leap. And they were singing right around, I think they had scored the highest they'd ever scored, which was about 71 maybe. And went to the director and said, you know, you guys are ready for this leap. And for me, there's nothing more exciting than a chapter that has an opportunity to make not just a little shift, but a big shift forward. And there's nothing more thrilling for me than that. But I think in terms of the society, it's the same way, right? I love the society. I've traveled all over the country, visited so many chapters, gotten to know so many members. To me, it's the same thing, right? We have an opportunity to make a leap here. We have an incredible team working at Harmony Hall. I will say this, of all the organizations I've worked for, I've never been more proud of a team of people who are so capable, who've been through a lot. We've all been through a lot, right? The pandemic, you know, we've gone through changes, or major organizational changes, challenges, and I really think we're at this place where we survived a lot, right? And we're still in pretty darn good shape. Pandemics, you know, moved past and we're starting to build again. And I feel very lucky to be sort of at this moment in time to have this team of people and this society of very talented and smart individuals throughout the society to help us move forward. Yeah.
Awesome. So, Mr. Kelly, I think we're ready. So, on the scale, Hanks has their own scale of heat. We don't have Scovilles. So far, we're in the 4s out of 10. They don't have anything below a 4. We are now ready for The Linger, which is also a 4. Cheers.
Rated 4 out of 10, The Linger. Think of it as a warm blanket that just came out of the dryer, but for your taste buds. It's not the heat that lingers, but you'll be thinking about the flavor all day. Juicy, ripe, red Italian long hot peppers take center stage in this mild yet over-the-top delicious seasonal favorite. Sure, the heat is mild, but the flavor is far from it. The slightly sweet roasted flavor of the long hots collides with our signature garlic to create a perfect sauce for dumping on sandwiches, pasta sauce, and anything else you can think of. That's it.
Gives us time. I'm feeling it a little bit.
A little bit.
Little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
But apparently it lingers. So I'm going to read a long question.
Okay.
I was chatting with Kevin Keller about your time in CSD. How amazing it would have been if there was a varsity or college quartet contest then, because it would have been possibly you on tenor, Kevin on lead, Rob Henry on baritone, Jim Henry on bass. Do you look back on your 50 years in the BHS and think at all about, you know, what could have been back then?
Never once.
Not one regret.
Never once, no. I mean, I totally true, and I'm going to talk about gratitude later tonight, but I feel like the luckiest man on the planet to have been a part of this hobby. The number of people that I come across that say, gosh, I wish I had found this sooner, I couldn't have found it any sooner, frankly. So I just feel very, very, very blessed, and whatever opportunities we've had, I mean, sure, it would have been great to sing with Jimmy or any of those great, Fred Farrell, tenor of Second Edition and Crossroads. I mean, he and I were playing at the Mulebach Hotel in Kansas City during the district convention when we were both kids. He hated barbershop. His dad directed a chorus from Iowa. He wanted to color monster trucks, and we would go up on the rooftop of this hotel and drink sodas, his favorite soda. And then it turns out he's a 2-time gold medalist later on in life. So, you know, the memories, and I think we were talking earlier today about what I would say about BHS, and I was thinking about it when I went back to the hotel this afternoon. And Some people think we're in the event business, and I actually think we're kind of in the shared experience business. I think we're in the business of creating shared experiences and memories that last a lifetime. And that's what 50 years in barbershop does, is creates such memories that when a Bob Disney passes away, you know, I shed a tear for all of the great music that that guy provided and all of the performances that he put on this stage here in Mid-Atlantic and chapters around the society. So I just have nothing but gratitude, my man.
Awesome, awesome. Well, our next one is very befitting. We're now in October. So, Mike, let's go on to the scale of 5. We're taking it up a notch with Witch's Brew.
Witch's Brew rated 5 out of 10. We've all heard of the healing powers of witches and their potent magical concoctions. While there's no black magic in the bottle that we know of, there is loads of flavor waiting to combat any bland food in its path. Jalapeno peppers are added to a cauldron of cilantro, adding an extra magical kick with heaps of antioxidants to help you keep feeling fine and dandy, all while you're warding off evil spirits. We have made up the evil spirits part, but the flavor is the truth.
So what you're all not seeing is this man's going all in. Like, he's not taking a little nibble to see whether it's toasty or not. He's going all in. So far, so good?
Great.
So far, so good?
Show me some heat, though.
Oh, man, he's calling it out. Well, trust me, Iceman's waiting for you at the end. Lou Perry, talking about amazing arrangers and amazing human beings. You met him at Harmony College back when you were a kid.
Yeah.
How did he impact your barbershop journey? Aw.
Yeah. There are giants among us, friends, and Lou Perry was one of those giants. You know, I was a teenage kid and went to Harmony College. Lou Perry was obviously an arranging god at the time, and he went out of his way to take me under his wing. And I shed a tear all the time for Lou. Lou was one of the most generous men I've ever met. And I guess if there was one thing that I could offer from Lou that would be applicable in today's barbershop society was that, you know, he said to me, the ultimate achievement is simplicity. And so that's something that I've always sort of taken into account. I'd love to, if you are really interested in Lou Perry, I have some great Lou Perry stories from those years, but we stayed in close touch. I went and visited him several times in Tucson, had some great memories together, but man, there are giants among us this weekend, and the one thing I would say is don't miss a minute cherishing those relationships. They can last a lifetime, but people don't, right? So cherish every minute you get with your barbershop idols and friends. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget this. Yeah, cheers. You know, we were saying over lunch yesterday, like it's so easy to get caught up, especially when you're in leadership. There's so much going on, so much stress, and trying to do so many things that we do lose sight of. We are living in the good old days right now, this weekend, right here, eating wings with good friends.
Absolutely.
Which is awesome. Which we are ready to go to Golden Hour, Mike Kelly.
Golden Hour, rated 6 out of 10. Inspired by Caribbean surfed trips and lazy afternoons, Golden Hour is a smooth mix of mango, pineapple, and Scotch bonnet heat that's sweet, warm, and easygoing. It's the kind of sauce best enjoyed with the crew and a cold one. Perfect for grilling beachside or spicing up your favorite backyard bites, Golden Hour delivers a tropical kick you'll want to ride long after the sun sinks below the horizon.
Yeah, we're getting there.
He asked for it. So you're quite the arranger. Is there an arranger out there that you're the most proud of? Arrangement that you are most proud of?
The next one.
The next one.
No, I get asked that question all the time. I'm, you know, when you spend as much time with a particular piece of music to arrange it, at least in my case, you know, this is something that Lou taught me that's also kind of a fun story, is that for me, I always go back to the lyric and the melody. And I live with that lyric and melody until it's part of my bones. I don't think about the arrangement. I don't think about the tag or the embellishment or the intro. I really just try to hone in on what are the inherent gifts in that particular song. And they always come in the form of lyrics and melody. The harmonies will take care of themselves. And once that melody becomes like in my bones, then the arrangement comes very quickly. But what I love about that is the process, more than the actual product. I mean, I feel attached to a lot of my arrangements, but it's really about, I look forward to the next time I get a chance to like dive into a fantastic songwriter's music and make it part of me and have it come back out as something that we can sing. So,
I love it. I'm going to give you a pop quiz.
Yep.
So I'm going to read some lyrics from some of your arrangements and see if you remember what the song is. I was up in New York City just the other week. You should have seen the waitress's face when I ordered sweet tea.
Southern State Medley.
Southern
Darius
State
Rucker. Now, this is another actually fun point, but when I started the chorus in Charleston with 3 other guys, I didn't start it alone, but we really were trying to build a barbershop chorus in a state that had never had a chorus ever compete on the international stage in barbershop history. And so, you're down there in Charleston. They had an older barbershop chapter, but we were really trying to connect with the community. And Darius Rucker lived in Mount Pleasant, but we also just started to find songs that related to the audiences that were there. So meet people where they are. And so Southern State Medley, I mean, me arranging a Darius Rucker song is kind of laughable, but it was great fun, and we really had a great time kind of connecting with the Mount Pleasant and Charleston community through songs like that.
Awesome. The next one is Cornbread.
That was not me.
That was not you.
No.
It's like
Roman.
It's like the biggest arrangement in barbershop.
I know.
Well, maybe next time. All right, let's go off to the next one. Let's go to Hank's Heat, one of my least favorites. Let's see how this is.
At 6:12 p.m., Hank's Heat, rated 6 out of 10, is a specialty sauce that Hank used when he feels the need for a little extra heat. Hank's Heat, to spice up your foods while adding excellent flavor. Stop using boring pepper sauce that masks the flavor of your food. This fresh, handcrafted blend issue to enhance nearly any meal. Remember, flavor over fire.
Good.
Good. Cheers.
Cheers.
Nope, no cornbread. So what's left on your barbershop bucket list?
Yeah, I can tell you right now. When I call this career finished, and my career in general in this lifetime, my bucket list is to leave this Barbershop Harmony Society in a much better place than I found it, and we're in a pretty good place now. But for me, getting to the end of my working career and having helped the society that continues to give so much to me, that's my bucket list right there.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to exit 17, Mike Kelly.
Rated 7 out of 10 on the spicy scale. Like the sign pointing to our hometown of Sea Isle City, New Jersey, it's bold, it's green, and it always points you in the right direction. Fresh serrano peppers collide with a crispy combo of fresh herbs, tomatillo, and ginger that slaps your taste buds and gives you a rejuvenating kick of that New Jersey summer heat.
It's building. I've got a cacophony of flavor in my mouth.
The first one to eat a piece of bread loses, so...
Can I get a free ticket to international if I make it? All right. You have a passion for service. When you were interviewing, you gave us a really, really great kind of analogy
Right.
of your approach to leading the Barbershop Harmony Society. The fifth part of your plan was going to service, called the overtone. Can you kind of share that with them of what's your vision for the overtone?
Right. So I don't know how many of you here remember this, but when I was growing up singing barbershop, at the end of every chapter show, we sang Keep America Singing at the time. But we also, prior to that, sang We Sing That They Shall Speak. Beautiful, incredibly beautiful song. Now, I was just a little kid, right? But there was this talk in the middle of that song in the heartland of America, the Institute of Logopedics, and talked about how we were raising our voices for those that couldn't speak, basically. We sing that they shall speak. And to me, it gave me a tremendous sense of pride that this hobby that I love so much wasn't just about us doing things for ourselves, but that in fact, what we were doing was actually creating a greater good in the world and helping others. And, you know, when that relationship between BHS and Institute of Orthopedics fell apart, and BHS also started realizing that we needed to invest in youth programs, et cetera, some of that focus, I think, on having a greater purpose kind of got lost, or at least that specific idea. And it's really my hope, pure and simple, that we will have and develop, not that we aren't doing things in this way, but that we'll develop a robust, what I'm going to call a portfolio of service or a portfolio of philanthropy outward. And if we're not in financial position to necessarily raise money for another organization, we can still raise awareness, we can still collaborate. And so from my perspective, I think if we can get back to being a very service-minded organization at our very core, we'll all be better for it. So that was the plan.
You're here. Mike Kelly, we are looking at the end of the Garden State Parkway. We've got 2 sauces left. Please tell us about Honey Habanero.
Honey Habanero rated 7 out of 10. A little sweet, a lot of heat. When some of our biggest fans started asking for something hotter, Hank knew he couldn't let their calls go unanswered. Fresh habanero and honey create an extremely pleasant, spicy combo that makes it tough to put the bottle down. The slow-building burn of fresh habaneros is perfect for adding a serious kick to your favorite meals, sauces, snacks, and marinades.
No.
No, I'm not sweating at all. I'm doing great. I also can't feel the tip of my tongue. So, Everyone in Harmony comes out in 2017. We're now 8 years from there. I think we saw a great representation of all different flavors of barbershop so far this weekend. We'll see more this night tonight. What's kind of your vision? How do you embrace Everyone in Harmony? What's your thoughts on that strategic plan and that vision going forward?
Well, I mean, having been working at Harmony Hall for when I was at the Harmony Foundation during that time period, 2016 to 18, I kind of saw. What are you doing?
I'm going in.
There? What? You're going in. Okay.
You keep
Okay.
jabbering.
Okay.
The coda's coming. Working in Harmony Hall.
Working in Harmony Hall and seeing the vision of Everyone in Harmony right from the get-go, you know, I'll be very. You're always going to hear candor from me. I think it was a fantastic plan, and I think along the way there were mistakes that we made in executing it in terms of the how people experienced it at the chapter level, and I think now's the time, honestly, for us to say, first of all, that was a good decision. If anybody was in Denver at the International, I can tell you it was just, it was a very rich experience for all of the, and manifestation of the Everyone in Harmony vision. That being said, you know, I grew up in an all-male society, and all my friends loved that camaraderie and fraternal organization, and there's no question that those people experienced a sense of loss of something that they knew and were attached to. And from my perspective, I understand that sense of loss. And now I'm at a place where, frankly, I just think we're so much better for having made the move. But I don't think we should forget the fact that those on whose shoulders we stand built a Barbershop Harmony Society that led up to the place where we could make that leap. And so I honor all of their experience, and I think if we want to have single gender experiences within our society, great. If we want to do mixed things, great. And as long as we can kind of appreciate and respect each other, I just think it's fantastic that barbershop can happen in all these different forms within the context of the Barbershop Harmony Society.
You're here.
Yeah.
So we have made it to the final coda of our challenge. This is the real deal. This is Iceman.
Show me something real here.
I think it's
the
gonna
real
happen.
deal.
Mike Kelly,
He's got nothing.
bring us in with the Iceman as we go into our 10th and final wing. I have broken the seal, so if we can make it through one nice generous bite here, we can always go in for a final dab.
Rated 8.5 out of 10 on the heat scale, the story of Iceman begins many moons ago during a harsh and stormy February in the woods of southern New Jersey. 'Twas the year 2014. Cabin fever had blanketed the Hank crew as they yearned for long, humid days of summer. Suddenly, without warning, it happened. In a stir-crazy daze, the foreman, idle hands of Hank began to toil in the kitchen. Something hot was cooking, and something reminiscent of the summer sun. Legend has it, nearby bottle of whiskey was spilled into the pot, sending flames skyward and perfecting the mysterious concoction. Who would bear the burden of this heat? We would find that answer in the Outdoors Expo in Harrisburg. His name was Mike. Not me. The self-proclaimed Iceman. He was responsible for keeping people stocked with ice. He loved our sauce so much, we named it after him. That's pretty much the entire story.
We did it. We made it into the final dab. Just for the record, I was ready to go in on the fresh stock, but we're gonna stop there. I just have a question. Who do you all think is the newest member of the Mid-Atlantic District of the Barbershop Farmers Society? Welcome back, Robert Rund, officially to the Mid-Atlantic District. So question for you, as people see you tonight,
Yep.
Is it okay if they say hi, maybe sing a song or a tag with you? The time is yours. You've made it through the full palette. We tried to bring the heat, but we couldn't take down the run. Anything you want to share with the audience?
No, first of all, thanks for coming out and doing this little talk. If there are burning questions, I know we've kind of kidded around a lot tonight, but there are barbershoppers with serious questions about where the society's going, and what I can assure you is that I am super excited. We had an all-staff meeting 3 days, a couple of weeks ago in Nashville. We're gearing up. I do think that we've been through a lot of change, and it's nice to have a little bit of a period to just take things easy and realize that we're in pretty good shape, and we have really a great opportunity to grow here in the next couple of years. But if you have questions, certainly feel free to find me. If you just want to say hello, I'd love to see you again. Some of you I've known from the Mid-Atlantic District for a very long time. And if I haven't met you, please do come say hello. I'd love to meet you.
Very good. And we've got some lovely bottles of hot sauce. We're going to be offering those for $50 a piece for donations to the Mid-Atlantic District Endowment. Just kidding, just kidding. But feel free to check out hanksauce.com. Wonderful thing. Round of applause for Robert Rund, my first guest on Between Two Ferns, a spicy take on barbershop. I just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
You're a champ.
Yeah.
So thank you all so much. We hope to see you more tonight. Come back at 7 o'clock for the beginning of our quartet finals. Thank you all.